Now, obviously, I'm not a health expert, but as someone that was really fat, 325 pounds, and is not as fat as they used to be, now I'm about 260. These are things I'm doing and implementing in my life that seem to be working, man.
What's going on, guys? My name is Jake.
I'm Jesus.
And this is your Body Comp Prescription, where we help you navigate through all things health and fitness. Today, we're talking about TIMTHETATMAN, a very well-known streamer, YouTuber. Me and Jesus both watch him every once in a while. He recently put out a video talking about his weight loss journey. He went from about 325 pounds down to about 260. So he lost about 65 pounds and counting. I think he's still going. So we wanted to break down what advice he gives and whether or not this information is useful or helpful.
The reason we are fat is because we eat too many calories. We eat too many calories and our body can't burn the calories fast enough, so it gets stored as fat, okay? That's why we are fat.
All right, so he brings up the reason we are fat is because we eat too many calories. He, in the video, says he's only talking to fat people here, but this goes for anyone who's trying to lose weight, right? If you have weight that you want to lose or you're at an unideal body fat percentage, you have that because you ate too many calories over a long period of time. You know, if you want to decrease that, you need to decrease your calories. Simple as that.
Yeah, I think a bunch of people always want to overcomplicate this process of their weight loss journey, and they're expecting some crazy broad answer, or detailed answer, in-depth answer. But really, they all comes down to not consuming too many calories. Because anyone who doesn't watch what they're eating could easily fall into that category of just overeating.
There's no magic drink. There's no magic thing that is gonna make us lose weight other than us eating less calories for our body to burn fat. That's it.
100%. There is no magic drink, no magic thing. Everyone always wants to look for that. They always want to know what the best training program is for fat loss. They always want to know what the best diet is, what supplements to take for fat loss. And the short answer here that I love that he said is that there's no magic drink or thing that will help you do that. It comes down to like consistency and consuming less calories than you need to be. He made it very clear that there's no shortcuts. He did the dirty work and he did it for a long period of time. And that's how he was able to lose his 65 pounds.
So here's what I'm doing, Peter. I've done everything. Keto, blah, 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 blah. I've done everything. This is where I'm at right now. And it's working great for me. All right. I am tracking my food. That's it. Tracking my food. And I've been constantly losing weight every week. It's not a ton, right? It's not a sprint. This is definitely a marathon, but it's every Saturday I'm weighing in and I'm at least usually like a pound lighter, if not more, typically.
Listen, this is what I do. You guys want to know what I do? I track my food. This is something that we talk about all the time here, especially if you're really serious about trying to lose fat. A lot of times you don't realize the foods that you put in into your body and how many calories they have and how those things add up day after day after day. He talks about specific foods that are weaknesses for him, but until you track, you don't know the calories, the macros, anything like that. And, it's not something that you have to do forever. But again, if you're serious, it's something that you really should consider doing because you won't really know if you're in your calorie deficit if you don't track.
He goes on to say he on a Saturday weekend he is eating burgers, right? This kind of is a good example because he's able to enjoy what he's eating while maintaining his regimen and his weight loss journey, because he says like I had a patty, but he also had to track what that patty had and all the calories, how much protein he was consuming, how much fat, how many carbs. And this is good because he basically tells you like it's a hard process, but that's what he has to do in order to continue his weight loss journey.
And I will admit the tracking is kind of annoying.
I agree with him 100%. Tracking is definitely annoying. No one will 100% say I love tracking. No one does. It's just part of the deal, unfortunately. And again, it's not something you have to do forever, but until you know what you're putting in, you won't know if you're actually in your deficit, if you're in a surplus, and so on, right? But what I love here is that he is still eating things that he enjoys, because you can do this. There's always people who think that when you diet, there's no cheat foods, quote unquote. You can't eat burgers, you can't eat pizza. There's no way around that. You just can't eat those. But that's not true whatsoever. And that's the beauty of tracking, is that it allows you to do that, still eat things that you enjoy, but you still have to understand what's going in. And this is how you do that. You eat the things you enjoy, but you still have to understand that how it ties into the rest of your diet and nutrition.
My kryptonite, peanut butter. My absolute kryptonite. I love peanut butter. Love, okay? And oh my homie, I could eat an entire jar of peanut butter, okay? But what I would do is I would just walk by. I had the natural peanut butter, right? It's the good peanut butter, but I would just spoon. I would be hungry, so I'd take two giant like spoonfuls of peanut butter. And realistically, I'm probably eating 300 to 400 calories of peanut butter in those two spoonfuls. Because it's not like just a tablespoon. I'm talking a big serving spoon. Like I'm just leaning in there. It's like stacked up. You know what I mean? It's not like a serving size. It's like, I'm just going to eat this peanut butter. Problem is, it's so much calories, and I understand it's a good fat. I get that. But for me, I haven't been eating near as much peanut butter because it's so much fat. Another thing I've been using instead is this thing called PB2, which you can put in your shakes in, so you can get that peanut butter flavor for not near as many calories.
So what he said right there was pretty great, right? He talks about his love for peanut butter, but then he had to find a healthy alternative so that he continued eating peanut butter without it, causing a dramatic effect in the sense where, he says, peanut butter, it's high in fat, not necessarily super healthy. It could really increase the amount of calories you're consuming. And, for certain folks, that's not exactly what you would want or need. So, this is kind of great because, there's so many healthy alternatives out there, right? Just like if you're a vegan, there's different alternatives to continue eating more protein. So from this sake, if you love certain things, I definitely recommend checking out other healthy alternatives because this would help you continue on your weight loss journey, but at the same time eating those things that you're quote unquote giving up.
I want you guys to understand something, bro. The main reason that I'm trying to lose weight is because the reality is being as heavy as I am is not healthy for my body. Period. I'm a big guy. I've always been a larger guy, but it's just not ultimately, bro. It's not about being fat or looking good. It's about your health. That's my primary focus. That's my focus. It's not, I don't care if you guys think I'm sexy, right? I'm not doing this because I'm trying to get sexy for you. I'm doing this because I'm trying to have a long life. You know what I mean? I don't want to take for granted what I was given. We're all here. We're all blessed to be here. So I want to try, at least give it an effort to make my body, good and healthy.
I love what he just said here. He says, he's not trying to lose weight for anyone in particular, not for any of his viewers. No, he's not like trying to look sexy for, anybody. He's a dad and he has a wife or whatever already. So he doesn't really care about that. He says he's trying to lose weight to live a longer life. And I think this is really like powerful, like he kind of just said that. And I don't know if that conveyed to everybody, but I think this is a really good point. And anyone that's trying to lose weight, I think that if you make this one of your bigger priorities, you understand how important it is because we've already talked about in several other episodes how having excess body fat isn't exactly ideal. And also obesity is the leading cause of death. It's preventable. So, to increase your lifespan, if you lose a little bit of weight, that can help you do that, help you live a better life, have a better quality of life, live longer, all that good stuff. So I like what he said here. I think this was super important for anyone who's thinking about trying to lose weight or is currently on their weight loss journey.
His purpose and his why to his weight loss journey is so moving and powerful that it kind of keeps him going, right? It's not something where like, oh yeah, I have a summer trip coming up and I'm trying to lose weight.
Mhm.
No, his purpose is long term. He talks about his child, and his mom unfortunately passed away at a young age. He uses that as his motivation to continue during his weight loss journey. So that's really good to him. And for anyone listening out there, that's kind of something you want to take into consideration. What is your motivation, and is it going to keep pushing you on a daily, weekly, monthly, yearly basis?
He just told you what worked for him, and this is something that works for a lot of other people as well. And the information itself is good. He's not
Mhm.
speaking to necessarily one audience, like he said. It applies to everyone, really.
One thing I want to highlight here, what he did is that throughout this whole video, he didn't really talk about his training, right? He talked mainly about his nutrition and what he did for his nutrition to help him lose all the weight. This is really awesome because he basically highlights that, or the idea that you don't necessarily need training and your nutrition. If you have one, that's good. If you have both, if you're doing both really well, that's even better. But the fact that he just talks about his nutrition tells you how powerful just taking care of your nutrition, watching what you eat can go a long way.
All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed the video. But until next time, guys. Peace.
Peace out.